Okay, so for those of you all who are looking to get into a house in 2026, guess what? It is possible. Okay, so I know the first thing you're probably going to say is, you're going to assume that I'm going to say is contact a real estate agent. Okay, that's definitely something you should do and can do, but I've got some stuff for you that does not include getting a hold of a real estate agent. Okay, so here's some notes I've been taking, jotting down of some things that you can do to get into a new home in 2026. Okay. The first one is to check your credit score. Okay. Start to fix errors that are on your credit and get those late payments taken care of, meaning don't make more late payments. All right. And then pay down high interest debt to bring your debt to income ratio down. Okay. Your debt to income ratio is what the loan officer is going to look at when you're getting pre approved for a home. Okay. So debts mean what they can see on your credit report, what shows up, and then the bills that you tell them that you have to pay that are not in your credit report versus the money that you bring in, that's your income. Okay. That's your debt to income ratio. All right. And then start building your savings right now for a home. Okay. So for your down payment, your closing costs, for your appraisal, your inspections, start getting those monies together. And then also, there's going to be other little things that come up during the home buying process. Okay. So what I mean by that is things that'll be coming up once you get the appraisal done. Guess what? The guy or lady, whatever, said that they fixed those things. That were on the Benzer report. But guess what? Sometimes you want to have them come out and re-inspect to make sure that they actually did the stuff that they said they were going to do. Sometimes you have to have a pool inspection. You want to have a pool inspection, a septic inspection. There's different types of inspections that you're going to want to have done depending on the house that you choose. Okay. So that's money that you do want to budget for, because this is before you even get into the house. All right. Look at first time home buyer programs, grants. Sometimes people's jobs offer different programs, which is awesome. Make sure you look into that. All right. Once you get a real estate agent, your agent can direct you to a loan officer that can get them the programs that you qualify for as a buyer. Okay. And then even to be a first time home buyer doesn't have to be your first home all the time. Usually 3 years, if you haven't bought a home in 3 years, guess what? You're a first time home buyer again. Yeah, you really are. Um, Try to cut down on excessive buying. Okay. So meaning you want to try to save your money. Okay. Because guess what? If you want a house, you want to start renting, you're gonna want to start saving. Okay. Um, Look at home prices in your area and be realistic. The market is shifting. There are sellers out there that were covering closing costs, the buyer's agent's commission, but that is changing. It depends on the area, it depends on the city, everything. There are factors that go into that. And it also depends on how many offers they get on that particular house. So if they're getting, 4 or 5 offers on a home, they're probably not going to pay, all the closing costs. They may not do the buyer's agent's commission, or they may do a part of it. So you as a buyer want to make sure that you are getting money together for those things. Okay. Um, and start getting your emergency fund built up. Once you're in that home, you're probably going to have things that you want to buy, things that will come up. You may not always, be able to use your warranty to cover things. It's going to be some things that, you're just going to need around the house, okay? In general, okay? Just as a homeowner. And then start getting, if you do a lot of Cash App movement and whatnot, start keeping an eye on that, because the loan officer is going to want to know, justification of why you're sending, monthly Cash Apps, say if you're doing gambling or whatnot, or whatever, sports betting, or if you're sending family members large sums of money. And, just make sure you keep an eye on that for the few months, or try to cut down on that. I would say, because, you want to make sure that you're having enough money to cover the mortgage. Okay. And then, be open to a starter home. Okay. When I say starter home, really, there's no like cheap homes like back in the day when you could get, a really nice home for 30, 40, 50,000 that didn't need work. So that would mean like a home that's not, say, in the most trendy area, or condos, townhomes, manufactured mobile homes. I do have buyers that love the manufactured and mobile homes. And guess what? There are some out there that are not age restricted. So they're not in like a 55 plus community. And there are some out there that don't have the lot rent, which that could run easily 800 up to 1,000 and more a month. So just because you pay for that manufactured home, the lot fee, you don't own the lot. So you have to pay the lot fee. Okay. Um, Basically start living like you're already in a home. So that money that you were going to be, do a calculation and think, if, what are 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms going for? What would my mortgage look like? Give yourself an estimate in your head and start taking note of it and start putting money aside, because that's how it's going to be once you get into your new home. Okay. Um, and once you decide on a lender, guess what? That lender is going to be somebody that can help you and guide you through the processes. Okay. So, say if you're going to need to refinance, that lender is going to help you keep an eye out on your credit so they can get you in a refinance. That's why you definitely want to watch the credit card usage, because they do have to look at that again. They're going to do a reappraisal of the home. So, yeah, all of that. And then also make sure that you're keeping up with your payments, that you're not falling behind on any of your payments. Your credit history needs to be just as good as it was when you bought the home when you're refinancing, okay? So, if you desire to become a homeowner, you're in Arizona, if you want to buy here, if you're planning to relocate to Arizona, I love Arizona. It was my dream state. Let me know. I would love to be your agent. I'm Pamela Scott, your AZ Reload Plug with my home group. Call or text 480-251-3174. I look forward to hearing from you. And if you didn't catch that information, my contact information is located in my bio. So be well, and everybody take care. See you in the next one.